Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Quadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while learned his truth, and also to the Ophilat that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is for the vision is yet for an appointed time. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So we've been hearing a lot of news about these stamp benefits that's supposedly be not giving out benefits during the month of November. And so we're seeing a lot of people right now kind of crashing out. We're seeing a lot of people, saying, wait, what I'm going to do, what we're going to do. But one thing about it, that's what the Lord is doing. He's constantly breaking the staff of bread. Also we seeing that the war drums are constantly beating left and right. Venezuela, any given day, we're constantly seeing that America is getting closer and closer, to going into Venezuela and overthrowing this president, Manero, is saying that, that he's tried to he wanted to surrender, and he's saying that he wanted to give them, all sorts of things he was trying to give America. But, Trump said that's off the table. They're going in to overthrow this man. This, just like I said, it's kind of remind me of what they did to Saddam Hussein over in Iraq when they did this Desert Storm, several years back. So, same playbook. We already know that, this man, he's not a keeper at home. He constantly going into other people's nations, robbing them of their resources, and also setting up his puppet government. We knowing that we're coming upon this digital society, this fourth industrial revolution. We coming, fast. It's fast approaching. We seeing these things are happening right before our eyes. So the vision is yet for a appointed time, a future time, which in fact is now. The prophecies, the signs of the time, they're here. And so I suppose they've been going out in the highways and byways for 2 days in a row, but I had a lot of technical difficulties. But, I said to myself, I said, I just do it at the house until I get things back on track. So, I'm just going to read a few news articles. We're going to put a few precepts with them. Then we'll go from there. It says, let's go here with this first one here. It says, Trump amps up military CIA action against Venezuela. So here's what to know. Said the United States has bombed 6 ships near Venezuela. Said President Donald Trump said green light the CIA to operate inside the country. Said why is this happening? So we already know right now that the war drums is constantly beating, and we're gonna see what happened when America goes into Venezuela. It says here, let's get a little bit more. It says here, Trump administration is poised to a massively to raise the stakes in its feud with the regime of Venezuela. Said President Nicolas Maduro, said who is accused of supporting narcotic trafficking and conclusions with drug cartels. So a lot of things, that's going on, but we already know who the biggest drug cartel is. America. These things right here, it's full tuition. So that vision is yet for a point in time. We see it right now that, the war drums are beating, and we see it right now that, Russia, with Ukraine, we're seeing what's going on with China and Taiwan. So right now, any given day, you got to be locked in. You got to be constantly, watching the signs of the time, watching the prophecy. Because right now, this is happening right in our own backyard in Venezuela. Any given day, they could go in tonight. They could go in tomorrow. But they're poised to go in to take this man out of rulership, even though he tried to surrender, tried to compromise. And Trump said, no, it's off the table. So we already know what's getting ready to happen. We already know that Venezuela had I think the number one oil reserves in the world. So a lot of these things, man, we see it, man. These things happening right before our eyes, man. And also this food stamp benefit. You know, a lot of people are concerned. You know, these wicked holidays are coming up. You know, Thanksgiving. You know, Thanksgiving. Christmas, New Year, you know, and they're saying that, you know, for the month of November, you know, they're constantly pushing these buttons to want to set things off so they can implement martial law. So, you know, a lot of things is constantly happening left and right, and the war drums are beating. Rumors of wars are all over the place, man. We constantly seeing these things left and right. Let's get a little bit more of this. They said President Donald Trump, startling October the 15th announcement that said that on land strikes against Venezuela could come soon, which follows 6 strikes on Venezuelan boats, said that have unalived more than 24 people, said raises questions as to what caused Trump's sudden aggression and where it will lead. So right now we know where it's going to lead to what? World War III, to the last and final war. So, you know, one thing behind another is how rumors over here, rumors over there, mischief over there. You know what I'm saying? We constantly hearing these things left and right. The war drums are beating. Also, we know we coming upon that digital society, the 4th industrial revolution. You know, right now we don't have to even look anymore because it's already here. It is at the door. So it's all they have to do is announce it. You know, and say, hey, it's here. You know what I'm saying? Man, these things are happening, man. Let's get this one here. It's a little report. We're gonna get a few videos. Just a quick lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Hashem Abshai, and I hope that you will get edified. It says here, this is about news break. I'm gonna bring this one out. It says here, it's at Valley News. It said government shutdown. Said forces Clay County to suspend SNAP benefits approvals for November. It says here. It said Clay County, Minnesota. It says here, it said Clay County has halted approvals and insurance of November SNAP and MFIP benefits following state direction amid the federal government shutdown. So you seeing right now, you know, this government is going in, I think, the 22nd day. So, you know, just like I say, you know, they you know, constantly tightening the grip. You know, all of a sudden, you know, we already know when the food go, when the money go, all hell is getting ready to break loose. Let's get a little bit more of this article here. Says the U.S. Department of Agriculture told Minnesota there may be enough federal funds to issue November SNAP benefits if the shutdown continue. Minnesota has directed counties to pause approval and insurance of November SNAP and MFIP benefits until further notice. So they shut it down. You know, we're telling them that they might have enough to go ahead on issue for November. They saying shut it down. So we already know what's getting ready to happen. A lot of people are getting ready to go hungry. A lot of people are getting ready to have a lot of desperation. You know, we know we at the beginning of Jacob's trouble. You know what I'm saying? We seeing right now they're constantly setting the stage. These things are right before our eyes. You know, so man, a lot of things are happening. So let's get a little. Let's get a quick precept title update. Let's get this right quick. Just a quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Abshai. So you know, I suppose they went live yesterday. And I was byway, had technical difficulties Saturday. I had technical difficulties Sunday when I would try to go out. But I said, you know what? I do it at home on the Wi-Fi. You know, I had a jetpack was acting up on me, so I didn't have I didn't have Wi-Fi to bring out what I want to bring out. You know, but just like I said, hey, the show. You know, it ain't no show, but you know the things must go on. We will persevere. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1 said, I will. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 1, it said, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Verse 2, it said, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision or the prophecy, said, and make it plain upon tables that he may run who readeth it or understand it. Said verse 3 said, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, or future time, which in fact is now. You know what I'm saying? That vision is the signs of the time, the prophecies. He said, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So one thing about it that we're seeing right now, it surely is not tarrying anymore. It's not prolonging anymore. We're seeing that these prophecies right now are lining up just like clockwork, just like the Bible said. Let's read it in the NLT. It said the vision or the prophecies are the signs of the time is for a future time, that appointed time, said, so it describes the end and it will be fulfilled. Said, it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not delay. So right now, that's exactly what we're seeing. It's probably a constantly rolling just like clockwork. You know what I'm saying? As it is written, it shall come to pass. So that's what we're seeing right now. The vision, the signs of the time. Rumors of wars are all over the place. Earthquakes also in diverse places, pretty much every day. That flooding that's going on down there in Mexico. Let's get this right quick. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 29. Let's get this, because the Lord is constantly visiting the earth that he created. We're here, man. It is at the door. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6 said, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts, said, with thunder and with earthquakes and great noise, with storms and tempests and the flame of devouring fire. So we're seeing what's going on down in Mexico. You know, it was total destruction. I can't think of the other place with a lot of flooding going on there. But it's so much, you know, every day, just a domino effect, all these different disasters and calamities all across the world. And also it said it was rumors of a big earthquake that's, you know, they've been saying it for a while, that's going to go down in California. So there's a lot of things that happen. That fault line, what is that? The San Andreas fault line. So we constantly watching things left and right. And a lot of people right now are very comfortable, you know, very relaxing in their leads, because they're not seeing the destruction. They're not, you know, thinking right now, because there's no pressure right there. They're seeing things all around, but they're still not believing. But the Lord is getting ready to make a believer out of you, but it will be too late. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about that, you know, the Lord also going to bring forth the famine of the world. So let's read this once again. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6 said, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquakes and great noise, with storms and tempests and flame of devouring fire. And also, you know, we've been noticing too, right here in the South where I live, you know, we know that it's not been a lot of hurricanes this year, but, you know, any given time, quiet before the storm, you know, so the Lord is visiting the earth that he created. How is he visiting the earth that he created? Through the eyes of the Most High, the angels, which in fact ride in what they even call UFO or UAPs, you know what I'm saying? Spacecraft, you know, and also we've been seeing a lot of that in the news, you know, that Three-Eyed Atlas. It's another one. I can't think of the other one, but it's pretty much UFO sites all across the world. You know, they're visiting the earth that they created. And also we seeing that the third war is coming very quickly. You know, I mean, it's right before our eyes, man. We seeing. Let's get this one right here. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 12. You know, a lot of people gonna get caught up in that evil net. You know, even though, you know, it's just gonna pass, just something just happening right now, but it's gonna be fine. Everything will be okay. You know, but you're right. Let's see, Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 12. He said, for man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net. Said, as the birds that are caught in the snare or trap, so are the sons of men snared in a evil time, which in fact is Jacob's trouble, when it falleth suddenly upon them. So that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. Shalom, to brother on the comment board, shalom to you. And one thing about it is that we're seeing that now that we are so very close. For the vision is yet for appointed time. That time is now. We're measuring the time diligently. So that evil time is coming, that evil net. A lot of people going to get caught up in it. Because right now, they're setting the stage for you to depend on them, to trust in the strength of Egypt. A lot of people, what am I going to do? I don't have, how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to get my medication? How am I going to do this? And one thing about it, we're going to trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Let's go here to Proverbs chapter 3. Let's go here. We're not going to lean on our own understanding. Everything we do is through the Spirit. When we totally believe. It's no doubting. A lot of people doubt, oh, I don't have this. They're going to cut my foods. That's doubting. You're not believing. The Lord will provide. The Lord will sustain you. The Lord already said, my servant shall eat. They shall be home. Those are the ones that was rebellious. Those are the ones that didn't fear the Lord. You don't constantly doing wickedly. Your ass is going to starve. But the elect, the Lord said, they're going to eat. He said, my servant shall be thirsty. My servant shall be thirsty. I had to get it in a minute. I'm kind of butchering. My servant, shall be hungry, but they ate. We'll get it in a minute. I'm going to get it in a minute. I'm just excited, but we'll get that in a minute. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5, it says, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not on thy own understanding. And when you go into that word heart, it goes into your mind, Allah. A lot of people, leaning on their own understanding, but not trusting and believing in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. He's the only way and he is the only answer. And one thing about it, we see that we are very close to these times. It says here, verse 6 said, in all thy ways acknowledge him, confess him, and he will direct thy path. That's exactly what the Lord is going to do for the elect. He's going to direct our path because we totally believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And also, we got to have what you call blind faith. Believing in things that we have not seen, but yet we believe. Woo! Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 7 said, be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. That's exactly what's going on with these two days. They don't fear the Lord. They don't have faith. They don't have works. And they're going to starve there. A lot of them going to be unalive with the sword. They're going to go into these camps, different things. Shalom to Marvin Frank. Shalom to you, brother, for joining me on this live. So we seeing right now that they're setting the stage. The grip is getting tighter and tighter. Jacob's trouble is at the door. So let's get that scripture that I butchered before we start these videos. Isaiah chapter 66. I read it all the time. I'm just in the spirit. I think it's Isaiah chapter 65, if I'm not mistaken, around 14 or 15. But we'll get it. And I want to read that for you because we don't have anything to worry about. We're going to let the Lord direct our step. We trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Because we know that the Lord is going to do a mighty work. We know that the Lord will provide for. The Lord will be a stronghold in times of trouble. Let me see. Let me find this right quick. I think it might be 64. We'll find it in a minute. But one thing about it is that, man, we're here. We're seeing it right now that America's getting ready to go to war with Venezuela, man. It just don't make any sense, Why are you fooling with this little country? You know what I'm saying? He's not a keeper at home, the hammer of the whole earth. And man, I'm telling you, man, we are here. Man, I'm telling you, man, this is a mighty work. We're about to get to it in a minute. They said, there we go. We right here now. It says here, let's go stop at verse 12. Let's see. Let's start up at verse 12. It says here, Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 12 says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Said, because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. So a lot of people right now, the Lord is getting ready to break the staff of the bread. Your necessity, your way of life is getting ready to change, like a domino effect. A lot of people right now eating good. A lot of people are drinking good. You have shelter. You still have your family unit. But all of a sudden, that evil net is going to come upon you. A lot of people going to get separated. A lot of people going to see their loved ones get unalive right before their eyes. So we coming upon these times. A lot of people, don't trust and believe in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh. A lot of people don't have faith. A lot of people don't fear the Lord. It's getting ready to happen. And what I mean by a lot of people, I mean the 2/3, the Negro, the Latinos, the Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, we're talking to you. It's time to seek the Lord. Verse 13 said, therefore, thus said the Lord power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So one thing about it, that's what's getting ready to happen. So a lot of people are getting ready to be ashamed. A lot of people are getting ready to be bugged out of their mind. You go, what are we going to do? Jesus! But hey, one thing about it, Jesus will not save you in those times of trouble. You do not know the true name of the Heavenly Father, you're going to be totally destroyed. We constantly warning you left and right. The Lord's not playing no more game. Verse 14 said, behold, my servant shall sing of joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. So that was getting ready to happen. So the stage is set. And the men of the Lord, we constantly been warning you left and right about all these impending, telling you about this food stamp crash, telling you about the government shutdown, telling you about this digital society that's getting ready to take place. It's MOTB, Jacob's troubles out there. Also, we seeing that war is in our own back door. And also we seeing that any given day, it's saying that Russia could, have a confrontation with NATO. Could be a possibility. Also is another rumor that China is getting ready to go into Taiwan. So we're seeing a lot of these different things that are happening. So, which in fact, China and Russia is separating NATO from the U.S. So if the U.S. come help Taiwan, they can be fighting China straight up. You know what I'm saying? Man, we see that it's lining up, but see, the Lord is causing these things to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's why we blowing the trumpet left and right. And so a lot of people right now is in for a rude awakening. Let's go to Joel chapter 2 and verse 1. Let's get this. We blowing the trumpet, man. We constantly warning you left and right. It is here. It is at the door. It says here, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Let's read that one more time. It says here, Joel chapter 2 and verse 1 said, a terrible visitation. It said, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Said, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh or near at hand. So exactly, we blowing the trumpet, letting you know that the Lord is getting ready to return. The Lord is getting ready to set everything back into order. That's why we constantly seeing things. Constantly we seeing an uprising over here. We seeing civil unrest. Civil war is possible. Also, we knowing that the government is setting the stage for martial law, lockdowns. These things are right before our eyes. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Let's get verse 2. Joel chapter 2 and verse 2, it said, a day of darkness, a day of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There has not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, say even to the years of many generations. So one thing about it, the Lord is going to come in the midst of World War III, Joel chapter 3, you know what I'm saying? Second Ezra chapter 13, the Lord great and glorious return. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shalom to you, brother. Shalom. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, man, we seeing that we are him. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm telling you, man, these things are coming fast approach. So the Lord is setting the stage. The Lord is putting the spirit upon these leaders across the world. We're going to get that in a minute. I'm going to tell you, man, the preacher is constantly popping. So let's read this once again. It said, a day of darkness, and of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountain, a great people and a strong. There has not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to years of many generations. So one thing about it, you'll never see a time like this ever again. So we're coming upon a time of trouble that we have never seen before. World War III is getting ready to happen, whether people believe it or not. A lot of people are relaxing in their leads. We're seeing these things are constantly lining up left and right. A day of gloominess, a day of darkness. The Lord is going to return in the midst of World War III. You know what I'm saying? It shut down all these government and set up the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness, man. I'm telling you, man, Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work, man. That's where we at right now. Man, they're constantly preparing for war. So now let's get this video. I got a couple of videos. Let's show this one first by Venezuela and how they are getting closer and closer, and the constantly mobilizing troops. We're seeing that the CIA is down there. We already know that this man is getting ready to try to overthrow Maduro. We know what this is all about. You know what I'm saying? We already know what America is all about. Gold, oil, and drugs. That's what they're all about. Coming in, you know what I'm saying? Taking out to what their government is setting up their puppet, which in fact I think is this lady that Trump got is waiting to when they overthrow Maduro to take over this government. He's saying that this man is trying to negotiate. They said, no, all that's off the table because they already got other plans for Venezuela. They want that oil. They want those resources, the raw material. We already know this man is not a keeper at home. He is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You know what I'm saying? So let's get this video right quick. And there's a couple of them we're going to get. But man, I'm telling you, so many things that's going on, man. Rejoice ye heaven because the Lord gave us this knowledge, man. I'm telling you, man, we are truly blessed to be in this wisdom and knowledge and it being in the know. You know what I'm saying? Blessed that your eyes see. Also the election has attained it and the rest was blind. Let's get this right quick.
Mobilizing its troops and militias throughout the country, preparing for war against the United States of America. This comes as the United States has, obviously, as you know, the warships, the Navy the military has struck a number of Venezuelan boats in the southern Caribbean. But also, there are about 10,000 American troops near the border of Venezuela. And while it looks as though it's increasingly likely that the United States could potentially invade Venezuela in the coming weeks to potentially oust Nicolas Maduro. And so Venezuelan troops and militias have officially been mobilized. Now, Venezuelan troops are very ill-equipped compared to the United States military. The military comparisons are really, there is none. But what is clear is that the United States could be drawn into potentially a long war and a long regime change situation in Venezuela and South America. This is very big news right now. So spread the word. Full updates on my Substack, linked in bio. Subscribe for free. Follow along.
So we're seeing right now that, they're getting closer and closer going into Venezuela. So let's get this quick precept. But this man right here, he's not a keeper at home. That's his MO. You know what I'm saying? He is the thief. He's constantly robbing, stealing, and illing. That's what he do left and right. He lived by the sword. He's getting ready to die by the sword. Says, thou hast not hated blood, blood shall pursue thee. Ezekiel chapter 35. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, we here, man. Hey, this red devil, the Lord's getting ready to take him out. So he's setting him up. So let's go here to Habakkuk. Let's go back to Habakkuk chapter 2. We start back up at verse 5. He said, yea, also because he transgresses by wine. Talk about his philosophy, his policy, his democracy. Say he is a proud man. Say neither keeper at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, saying and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations and heapers unto him all peoples. We're talking about this new world order. And also, his desire is like what hell and you know what I'm saying, death and hell follow him at where he go. You know what I'm saying? So he constantly goes into people's country. You know what I'm saying? We here to help you. We here to do this. We here to make things better for you. But all the time they coming in to take over, take the resource. You know what I'm saying? Really pretty much to bleed them dry. You know what I'm saying? We already know what happened with France and over there, what's going on with this man. What's his name? Abraham. I can't think his last name, but anyway, he's going through a whole lot of shit with these Edomites over there in Africa over there. You know what I'm saying? What are they? Burkina Faso. So there's a lot of things that's happening. So we're seeing that they're laying down on the same playbook what happened back several years ago when they went into Iraq and took Saddam Hussein out. Oh, we hear, this man is a terrorist. He's, saying all kind of things. They demonized the man. So they demonized Maduro. We taking him out. He's got all these drugs coming into America. But out and about, we know that America's the biggest drug dealer that it is. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about that, it's not their drugs. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to take it. They're not making a profit. Also, they're going to cut him off and come in there and drain them dry and set up their own puppet government. So let's go here again. Let's read this once again. It says, Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5 says, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, his philosophy, his policy, his democracy, said he is a proud man, neither keeper at home. You seen him down there in what? Venezuela. You seen him over there in Ukraine, starting shit everywhere. He said, who enlarges his desire as hell and is at death. Everywhere this man go, death and hell follow him. You know, going in, taking out the leader, you know, putting their own puppet government. People are getting what? Assassinated. You know, either you do what we tell you to do or you getting your ass taken out. That's why they already got the CIA already there. Also, they have these Green Berets already ready to go. So we already know that at some point, you know, that they're going into Venezuela to try to take it, you know, and when they're about to use it for their own research, it don't have a damn thing to do with drugs, because they're about it, you know, they're looking at this oil, the resources, you know what I'm saying? This, you know, we already know this man is very greedy, you know what I'm saying? You know, he want everything. It says here, it said, but gather unto him all nations and heapers unto him all people, you know, so that's what he's trying to do. Start this new world order, heaping to him all nations to himself. So one thing about it, one world currency, one world government, you know, one world religion. That's what this man is trying to set up. We're seeing it left and right. These plans that he's constantly putting into place. Also, he constantly, slowly putting these draconian laws. You know what I'm saying? Taking away your rights, which in fact we never had no damn rights. No way, just was an illusion. But one thing about it, your food stamp, your Section 8, your government assistant, you know, to put you in a chokehold to make you a petrol slave. That's exactly what he's trying to do. So he ain't giving a damn about Monero. You know what I'm saying? He's ready to come in and take, you know what I'm saying, and steal and take and destroy. Verse 6 says, shall not all these take a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his, how long? And to him that is laden himself with thick clay. So you go into that word thick clay, goes into tremendous debt. This man is all kind of debt. This man trying to find a way out. You know what I'm saying? He constantly increases, which is not his. You know, this man is the thief that the Bible speaks of. You know what I'm saying? He is the harbinger of death. And also, you know, say who is taking up that taunting proverb against him is what? It's the prophet. You know, we ready for this man, you know what I'm saying, to go down. We ready for this nightmare to be over with. It says here, verse 7, says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booty unto them. Verse 8 says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood and of violence of the land of the city and all that dwell therein. So one thing about it, because they have spoiled many nations, Americans get ready to be a spoiled. When you go to what is that? Isaiah chapter 33. Let's back that up a little bit more. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 33 and bring it out a little bit more. You know, they have dealt very treacherously. So they get ready to get dealt treacherously with. Let's go here. Let's back it up a little bit more. You know, it says here, the judgment of the Lord. Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 1, it said, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. Who is talking about? You know what I'm saying? The modern day Assyrian, which in fact is what? American. Esau, Edom. You know, this red devil, you know, he got hell to pay. He said, they dealt not treacherously with thee. So when thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. So that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. We're seeing that all these different nations are coming in alliance against America. We're seeing that China and Russia are coming together against NATO and also against America. You know, they're constantly coming together, strategizing, you know, what they're getting ready to do. And also we know that at some point NATO is going to turn. You know what I'm saying? They shall burn the whore. You know, also we know that the least of the flock, which in fact is Israel, you know what I'm saying? They have dealt very treacherously. They're getting ready to be dealt treacherously with. So let's read it in the NLT. Let's bring it out a little bit more better. It says here, what sorrows await you Assyrians, modern day Assyrians, Americans, he said, who have destroy others, but have never been destroyed. Say yourself, you betrayed others, but you have never been betrayed. So when you are done destroying, you will be destroyed. So when you are done betraying, you will be betrayed. So exactly what's getting ready to happen. They get ready to come against them. We see it, the stage is set. So right now, this is the quiet before the storm. We're seeing right now that they're mobilizing to try to go into Venezuela. Always want to pick on these little small nations, knowing that their army and military not fully trained. Why you won't go up and pick on Russia, the bear? Why you won't go pick on China? You know what I'm saying? Because you already know you're going to get knocked on your ass. Just like the Bible said. So they're setting the stage for their own demise. We seeing it happening right before our eyes. This man, he will not stop. That's why the Lord said, for the elect's sake, those days shall be short. But this man, he's not going to stop. So they get ready to deal very treacherously with this red devil. Now, we seeing right now, it's right before our eyes. So let's get this other video about these stamp benefits right quick. I just been seeing a lot of stuff. Man, it's hard. It's hard to keep up with a lot of stuff. But hey, through the spirit of power, we gonna get it done. You know what? I'm gonna bring out this one. This devil here, this dude here, he all right, but he's still hollering about Jesus Christ. But he bring out some good points. But he's not a prophet. But I'm gonna bring this one out. How they are setting up this new world order. How they get ready to try to put this fourth industrial revolution into place, this digital society, whereby they're getting ready to put that digital oil on you. He's talking, bring out a few points. Let's bring this out a little bit.
I saw videos a few minutes ago, about 8 videos that were talking about because of the shutdown, that SNAP benefits and EBT won't be allotted next month due to the shutdown. And the only thing that came to me was the fact that it all makes sense. See, what I want you all to understand and really think about this and put your feelings to the side, think logically, is that we are going through a reset, an active reset. And what that means is they are aggressively pushing and implementing and planting their flag on this fourth industrial revolution, which is technology. Everything is about to be digital. It is not that the Democrats and the Republicans have a problem. They're all in it together. They're pushing towards a new system of digital and technocratic oppression. And what that means is they get to tell you what to buy, how much you can buy, and when you can buy it. They get to track every dollar, every dime that you digitally spend. And when I say dime and dollar, that dime and dollar has now been transferred to digital currency. And it doesn't make any sense for people to continue to complain about the government when the government is not here to serve you. When they say we're here to help, they're actually here to hurt. So you have to understand everything that Donald Trump is doing is not his doing alone. He is being controlled to do it. This is coming from a higher power. This is coming from a higher hand. This is coming from a hand and a power that you are not aware of, or if you are, it's a hand that you'll never see. But the fact is all of this stuff is happening for a reason, because you have to remember 3i Atlas is quote unquote on its way, and you have scientists who are saying that it's not a ship, it's not a rock, but rather a ship. They just did the peace agreement. So what they're doing is they're breaking you down financially, physically, and emotionally to get you to be begging for this new system of help. Now notice, they're waiting on a man to stand up and declare himself the Messiah of the Jewish people. It all makes sense. You gotta understand, nothing is coincidental. Nothing is by accident. Nothing is by happenstance. And if you think that, you're already lost in the sauce. So you have to understand that Jesus told us that man should
There's enough we want to hear about that. He going off now. So let's get off of that. Just like I said, he came to a good point, but he's still hollering at Jeebus cross. But one thing about, everything, the Lord say, I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. But we seeing right now that they're setting the stage, the condition, you know what I'm saying, to put you in a chokehold, make you out of petrol slave. So let's get this one right quick, because we're not ignorant of Satan's device, but the men of the Lord and also what the true believers. And we know exactly what this man is doing. They're already talking about peace. When they say what? Peace and safety, then what? Total destruction will come upon you. So, so one thing about it, we know that he's not a prophet, but he brought out a few good points. Had a lot of little meat on the bone. You got to pick out the bones, because we know we're still in the land of our captivity. And one thing about it, he was once saying the true names of the Heavenly Father, and all of a sudden he went back to Jesus' cross. So that make me think that he's an agent. Let's go here to second Corinthians. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11, because we're not ignorant of his devices. We seeing exactly what this man is trying to pull off. Let's read this here. It says here, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his device. And who is the physical counterpart of Satan? The modern day so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. We're seeing he's constantly putting his agenda in place. His Project 25, King Alfred plan, a lot of different things that he's trying to put into play. Operation Lockstep. A lot of things that we constantly seeing left and right. Also we know he's constantly ushering in this digital society. It says here, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his device. Who is not ignorant of his device? Talking about the prophets, also the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Abshad. When you go into that word device, it goes into his mindset, his plan, his plot, his agenda. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. He want what? To be like the Most High. He want total control, but he's in for a rude awakening. Let's read it in the NLT. It says here, 2 Corinthians chapter 11, 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11, it said, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil scheme. We're familiar with it. We know exactly what this red devil is trying to pull off. Shalom to everyone on the company, boy. Shalom. We about there. We about here. Yeah, we about, there. That's right. You're right. Ramya, you're right, man, about that. Hey, man, this devil here, man. I'm telling you, man, this devil getting ready to try to pull it off. Let's go here to let's go here to 1 Thessalonians. We're going to get one more video and we'll probably get out of here. Let's see, 2 Thessalonians, because, he just signed this peace agreement, saying this peace with Israel and the Hamas. Everything is lovely. They're going to release the hostages and, and send the prisoners, and they're going to give them food and resources, different things like that, and saying that, the war now is ceased. It's a ceasefire right now. But we already know when they say peace and safety, or peace and security, then total destruction will come upon them. Let's go here. It says here, 2 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1, it said, but of the times and season, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. So we know perfectly well the times and seasons, what we in right now. We're living in the end time, real time. We know that all hell is getting ready to break loose. We know that the Lord is getting ready to return. We're here, man. We so very excited. Verse 2 said, for yourself know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. So, hey, man, we know perfectly well that the Lord is getting ready to return like a thief in the night. That's why the Lord said, always be watching. You know what I'm saying? Get your house in order. Get your mind right. Examine yourself. Let go of the modern thought, because the Lord is getting ready to return. We constantly, hey, man, we're here. Let's read in the NLT. It said, for you know quite well that the day of the Lord return will come unexpectedly, said like a thief in the night. That's why the Lord said you got to be ready. You got to be watching. You got to be constantly enduring, watching the signs of the time. Your ass get caught slipping. The Lord's going to show up, and when he show up, he's going to show out. Verse 3, it said, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Man, one thing about it, when this happened, when all hell break loose, it could happen on a normal day. People could be at work. Right now, people might be somewhere, just doing whatever they normal day, it's just going on all of a sudden. You can go outside, look up, or whatever, could get an announcement, or it could be a total blackout. We know that these things are going to happen. A Black Swan event could be a Red Dawn event. We watched that movie, Red Dawn, how they, just a normal day, people were getting off of work, were going to work, and all of a sudden they looked up in the sky, they seeing that China troops was parachuting down into their neighborhood. Fire and explosion was everywhere. So, they constantly showing you these things in the movie, civil unrest, civil war, they're setting the stage for all hell to break loose. Let's read this in the NLT. It said, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3 said, when people are saying everything is peaceful, right now, that's what they're saying. Everything is peaceful and secure. Said, then disaster will fall on them as suddenly as a pregnant woman's labor pains begin, and there will be no escape. Jacob's trouble is very close at hand. A lot of people right now, relaxing in their lead, saying, la, 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 everything is fine. The Lord loves everyone. Everyone can be saved. Let's come together. Everything will be fine. One thing about it, you're in for a rude awakening. You have a strong delusion and you will be totally destroyed. And one thing about a lot of people right now is saying everything is peaceful. Everything is secure. Everything is fine. I don't see what the hell they are talking about. Don't worry about that. We see. Because one thing about it, you got to be spiritual to see what's coming. You know what I'm saying? The proof, man, we foresee what's coming. We'll get that in a minute. So let's get a little bit more of this. It says, but ye brethren are not in darkness that the day should overtake you as a thief. And one thing, but we're not in darkness. You know what I'm saying? These two-thirds, they're in darkness. You know what I'm saying? They're in the congregation of the dead. You know what I'm saying? One thing, but when they wake up, it's going to be too late. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we see that we're here. Let's read it in the NLT. Said, but you aren't in dark. But you aren't in the dark about these things. Said, dear brothers and sisters. So you won't be surprised when the day of the Lord comes like a thief. So one thing about it, we're not going to be surprised because we know that the Lord is getting ready to return. We're seeing the signs of the time. We are measuring the time, diligently. Through what? Through the scriptures. We're seeing that right now things are lining up. Matthew chapter 24, the Lord giving us a guideline, what to look for. And these things are happening right before our eyes. Hey, it's not hard to figure out. Verse 5 says, ye are all children of the light and the children of the day. Say, we are not of night nor of darkness. And that about, we're children of the light. Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of the time. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be that light, you know what I'm saying? That path, that they're going to constantly direct our path. You know what I'm saying? Going to keep us in the right direction. Put it like that. So like, I got a little dry tongue. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to direct our path. Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of the time. So a lot of people right now are sleeping. A lot of people right now are unaware, are not considering. Let's read verse 6 of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 6. It says, therefore, let us not sleep as do others, the two-thirds, but let us watch and be sober. You know what I'm saying? That means have a clear head. You know what I'm saying? Be sober minded. You know what I'm saying? Wisdom and knowledge, once again, shall be the stability of the time. Your faith, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be tried. You know what I'm saying? We get ready to come upon these times. Great tribulation is right before our eyes. That's one more video I want to get. We'll close out, see where we at. 48. We're going to go about an hour. So it's another video I want to show y'all real quick before we shut it down. If I can find it right quick.
Okay.
Let's see.
CEO of
See what we got here.
Pacific Banks that
Let's see.
Now
That's another one I want to get right quick.
Donald Trump, y'all better know that Microsoft is out all over the
This is one I want to show about Microsoft. It had crashed globally. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this one right quick. A lot of people ain't talking about this. That's something I've seen through the spirit. Let's get this one right quick. And then we'll get a few more and we'll close out. Tongue about dry. Let's get this one right quick.
Donald Trump.
One moment.
Y'all better know that Microsoft is out all over the fucking world. So the jail systems, the school systems, Atlanta airport is down right now. While y'all worried about that Trump shoot, it's something way bigger than that going down right now, and it's coming to your front doorstep. The police stations, everything, the court systems, everything in America runs off of Microsoft. 99%. I don't know what's happening. They got some major plan for you
you, and you. While we all sitting here arguing on the internet, Microsoft is down on the global stage. There's no planes flying right now. There's no school systems that are barely open right now. There are no jailhouses that are open right now. The Microsoft cell phones are over with. Computer systems all over the world right now are worthless. What do you think your country has planned for you? Y'all sit tight.
We seeing right now that, they constantly setting this stage, man. That's why I was letting y'all see that, because, you never know when the internet might go down, or portions of the internet. And also we know that they constantly setting up these military troops in different cities across America. They constantly setting the stage. Let's go here to Second Ezra chapter. Let's get some of that out of Second Ezra, because Second Ezra right now is popping right now. That civil unrest, that civil war. And also, they constantly slowly taking your necessities away from, constantly your livelihood. We slowly seeing. Also, we seeing that the job market is constantly is on the decline. We seeing a lot of job losses, because we know that what AI is getting ready to take over. So they setting that condition, to be sedition among men, all hell to break loose, protesting. And also we know about this King protest. Pretty much it wasn't about nothing, no way. They did what they did and went on back home. So all these we're not giving a damn about it. We ready for this stuff to pop off. Let's go here to straight to the point. It says here, 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 15 said, "For the sword in their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." So that's exactly the stage that they're setting. You know what I'm saying? And the modern day sword is, all sorts of weaponry, different technology, that's getting ready to come to pass. We already know that they're setting the Egyptian against the Egyptian, America against America, because of the conditions that they're setting, taking away these benefits, saying that, that won't be any stamp benefit for November, and a lot of things. People have lost their jobs. They don't know what they're going to do, how they're going to feed their family, constantly tightening their grip. They want that order out of chaos. So one people shall stand up and fight against another, civil unrest, civil war. Verse 16 said, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So we seeing that right now. They shall not regard their kings or princes. We seeing about this ICE patrol, what they're doing, about this immigration, the different thing. We're seeing that a lot of people are bucking up. They constantly seeing this left and right. Also, we seeing a lot of mass shootings are going on, left and right, whether they were engineered or manufactured. But we know this is all through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Abishai. So right now we know when the food go, when the money go, they're going to, going to resort to this right here. They're not going to regard their kings, no prince, no food stamp. No Section 8, no, what is this, no child support, and many other things. They're going to resort to that, what they know best. It's going to be all hell going to break loose. Let's read this once again. It said, "For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, no princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." They're going to do what the hell they want to do. It's going to be a lawless time. We go there with sedition, protesting, rioting. It's going to be uprising, civil unrest, civil war, insurrection. These cities are going to be on fire. And the body count is going to be great. That's what we constantly warning you about. And this is exactly what they want to do. Coming up next, it says here, 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 17 say, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able," because they're setting the stage for what? Martial law, military martial law, lock down these cities. Constantly telling you to get your ass in your house. If you don't go in your house, we're going to take you to this facility. They want you right where they want you at, so they can just come grab you up. So a lot of these things are getting ready to happen. Also, they're getting ready to introduce that digital oil. They shall feed you things being idle. They shall cast some of you into prison. So right here, let's read this once again. "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able," because of what? The checkpoints. These military troops, in major neighborhoods, major interstates, wherever. They're going to lock down every damn thing. You won't be able to do a damn thing. You will own nothing and be happy. That's what the mental oil constantly warning you about. A lot of people right now, they're beginning to see, saying, these men, I believe these men right here are telling the truth. I'm seeing that. Why is all this military is here? Why they're arresting people? You know what I'm saying? So Jake thought they was only arresting the northern tribe. Now they, that the main agenda is you Jakes. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so when you go to Genesis chapter 49, you know what I'm saying? Who shall rouse him up? So when the food go and the money go, all hell is going to break loose. We already know these YNs, you know what I'm saying, is going to get it popping very soon. They being quiet for right now. But when that stomach, and they can't get their fix, with that devil weed that they smoke, hey, man, it's getting ready to go down. So we saying that we're so very close to martial law that the military totally take over. And also we seeing America is slowly becoming a police state. You know what I'm saying? These draconian laws are rolling out right before our eyes. And a lot of people, it's going to be okay. Everything will be all right. Trump is going to make America great again. I ain't been hearing that a whole lot now. We seeing that these low class so-called white people, they'll say like, hey man, this man he's running us off a cliff. He's seeing it right now. That's what he trying to do. He ain't giving a damn about if you're not a billionaire or trillionaire, he give a damn about you. 2 Samuel chapter 15, verse 18 said, because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So, hey, one thing about it, he said, because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Because of what? No resources. You know what I'm saying? These lockdowns. You can't get this, can't get that, no job, no food. What I'm going to do, how I'm going to eat. How I'm going to get my medication. Hey, man, it's finna be all hell getting ready to break loose. You know what I'm saying? I'm thirsty. I'm hungry. My children are starving. My wife is starving. You know what I'm saying? So, it's getting ready to go down. 2 Samuel chapter 15, verse 19. Say, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because the what? The lack of bread and great tribulation. So they ain't going to have no damn pity. So your worst enemy is going to be goddamn your damn neighbor. You know what I'm saying? You coming at home, you might speak to your, hey neighbor, but guess when he is starving, you might have a few things, you might be doing pretty good. All of a sudden, he say, hey, I'm coming over there. I'm taking everything. Kill you. You know what I'm saying? Rape your daughter, your wife, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So these things are getting ready to happen. Great, And so we see it right now. They said to destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of what? The lack of resource. No food, no water. You know what I'm saying? Can't get their medication or clothing, shelter. You know what I'm saying? So we coming upon these times like we have never seen before. That's what we constantly warn you about left and right. When the food go, when the water go, when the money go, it's here. Setting the stage. We constantly warn great tribulation like we have never seen before. So let's go here to 2 Samuel chapter 16. Let's drop down to verse 69. We here, man. We see it left and right. I'm going to get the few precepts. We'll close out. That's right. Aram y'all. Just thankful for you bringing them deals out, man, from the precept, man. And just like I say, I got to get a little bit more better on these lives I be doing, man. Been a little busy, but it's no excuse, And one thing about it, I'm going to get it. We got to get right or get gone. Because the Lord is getting ready to return. And one thing about it, we're not going to be half-stepping. We're going to, stand on our watch. And we're going to stay on fire for Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. We know that we're here, man. 2 Samuel chapter 16, and we'll drop down to verse, because, man, I'm telling you, man, 2 Samuel right now is off the chain. It's popping right now. It says here, let's start at verse, start at 67, and we'll read down. It says here, verse 67 said, behold, God himself is the judge. Said, fear him, leave off from your sins, and forget your iniquity, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall the Almighty lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. So one thing about it, the Lord said, hey, put them sins behind you. Get your Get your house in order. Get your mind right. Let go of the model thought. You know what I'm saying? Follow the Lord. You know, stay with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Even right now, you know, the same that endure, the same shall be saved. Verse 68, he said, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idols, with things offered to idols. So right now we're seeing that America slowly, you know what I'm saying, you know, this great multitude is slowly going to be kindled over America very soon. You already seen what's going on in Venezuela. There's already rumors of warships in Alaska, you know, China and Russia, and also the Pacific, Atlanta, and also, you know, I'm not Atlanta, the Atlantic, Salakia. And one thing about it, we're seeing that there's the stage is set. You know, we already know that at any given time that they'll get ready to come up against America. We know that they got to implement that grain of rice, that digital oil. And also it says here, it says take away certain of you and feed you, being idols, to things offered to idols. So this line up with Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10. You know what I'm saying? See, the devil should cast some of you into prison. What these FEMA camps, these facilities, these chipping stations, these guillotines, these gas chambers, firing squad. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that's getting ready to come to pass. Look up the Noahide laws. I can't talk about them, but that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? You know, we seeing that we're here, so we know that to offer you things, it said, with things offered to idols, talking about what that digital are, the MOTB. You know what I'm saying? It shall go into your right hand or into your forehead. We're here. We're constantly warning you, left and right. Verse 69, it said, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and trodden, and reproach and trodden underfoot. Let's read that once again. 2 Amos chapter 16 and verse 69. It said, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision, and in reproach and trodden underfoot. So one thing about it, if you take that digital oil, you know, you're going to be in reproach and you're going to be trodden underfoot. You're going to have to face that second death, which in fact is the lake of fire. And what is the lake of fire? America, Babylon the Great. This place is getting ready to be hit with so many warheads. It's going to make this place a lake of fire. There will be no inhabitant left here. That's what we're constantly warning you about. Left and right. Either you will hear or either you will forbear. We almost at the end of this thing. We constantly rejoice. Woo! We constantly rejoice. Do not take it. Trust and believe in who? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Verse 70 said, for there shall be in every place, it said, and in the next city, a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. So, hey, man, there's going to be hell breaking out every damn where. You know what I'm saying? Every place in the next city, insurrection to those that fear the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Which, in fact, the elect. We know that at some point, the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. Because he knowing that he has but a short time. And really to tell you the truth, you know, I'm ready for this red devil to get it popping. Because the Lord's getting ready to get it popping. You know what I'm saying? When he put his hands on the Lord elect, that's when the Lord's going to lift up that standard. You know, that supernatural intervention is getting ready to come into play. That's what we wait. That's what we're waiting on, left and right. Also, we know that spiritual power is right around the corner. How long, O Lord? Let's read this once again. 2 Amos chapter 16 and verse 7, it said, for there shall be in every place and in the next city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, the elect. So one thing about it's going to be a great insurrection. We coming upon these times. Amen. Perilous times are upon us. Seek the Lord now while he can't be found. Because one thing about it, they're going to pull this internet down. You know, they're going to famine the word out fast approach. They're going to persecute the saint. First they hated him, and also they shall hate you for what? For this wisdom, this knowledge, this gospel. And one thing about it, we coming upon this time. Very soon, we seeing that this devil is getting ready to roll. But when he roll, the Lord is going to roll on his ass. You know what I'm saying? Verse 71 says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Talking about the elect. So they're going to be like madmen coming in here. We already know that he put everything into place. So when they're announcing or bring forth this condition, which in fact, you know, little by little, he constantly finding the right button to push to set things off. But guess what? You know, the table's going to turn upon him. He's in for what? A rude awakening. The Lord already said, his hands would not be able to perform his enterprise, his mindset, his agenda, his plan. They're going down the drain, just like him. You know what I'm saying? This man is getting ready to go into slavery for 1,000 years. After 1,000 years, he will be totally destroyed. He won't even be even talked about anymore. The base man of the earth, the original caveman. The Lord's getting ready to take his ass and put him back in his rightful place. These heathens are getting ready to know their place very soon. They're going to wish like hell they would have put their hands on the children of Israel. They're going to wish they're going to be begging and pleading when we go into the kingdom. That's why the Lord said we shall rule them with a rod of iron. We cannot wait. We're going to be kicking some asses in the kingdom. We cannot wait. Woo! Rejoice ye heaven. It says here, verse 72, it says, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their house. Hey, because of what? Ain't no food. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no, hey, people gonna be like, I got to have this, I got to have that. Gonna be just like animals, you know, robbing, stealing, and killing, and raping. And it's gonna be on a high, gonna be on a high level. If the Lord is not dealing with you, you're gonna be destroyed. That's what we constantly warn you about, left and right. We know when Jacob's trouble started, we know that Eve is getting ready to get her mind right. We already seeing little by little, we seeing that, oh, I need a man. It's all this independent shit that do thy will, spirit, or exerting authority over man is going out the window. But remember, we still have a few elect women's, of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua that followed the Lord over 2,000 years ago. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about these wicked Eve, they can't get right. But when Jacob's trouble start, they're getting ready to get their mind right very soon. Isaiah 4:1 is ready to come into play. They can be begging and pleading, feed me, I'm afraid, help me. Yeah, it's getting ready to come. Verse 73 said, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. So when you get ready to find out who are the true men of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, you're going to know exactly, perfectly well, who the Lord is dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Getting ready to show up on the scene, which in fact they're here now. You know what I'm saying? They're standing on their watch, and they're standing on fire for Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Well, I'm going to tell you, man, we're here. Verse 74 said, hear, O ye my beloved, which in fact is the house of David, says the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. The Lord said, hey, the day of trouble is at hand, but the Lord said, I will deliver you from the same. Man, I'm telling you, man, that is off the chain, man. I'm telling you, man, the Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work, man. That's why let's just get one more of this here. We're going to go to the comic board and we're going to close out. My tongue is dry as hell, but one thing about it, we're going to keep doing the will of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, man. But hey, we got to be excited. You know what I'm saying? We got to be fired up for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? We got to stay, you know what I'm saying, on the grind for Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, because the Lord is getting ready to return with great glory and great power. The Lord's going to be decked to the teeth, you know what I'm saying, with the thousands of heaven. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's getting ready to come back. He's finna show up and show out. We cannot wait. Even though right now, these heathen right now is out of control, but the Lord's getting ready to put their ass back under control. You know what I'm saying? We cannot wait, man. Lord, get ready to do a mighty. I'm just excited, man. We get ready to shut it down, man. I'll feel the precept from Aramyah. We'll get them right quick, then we're going to close out. Let's get this last one right quick. Second chapter 16. We start at 74 and read down to verse 75. Second chapter 16 and verse 74 say, hear, O my beloved, says the Lord. Said, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Verse 75 said, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua is your guide. We're going to constantly trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So now, let's go to the comic board, and we'll close out. Let's get this, see what we got on the comic board. We'll read a few of them, and we'll get out of here. Let's see here. Let's go here to the comic board. Let me see, can I get it opened up right quick? And once again, I'd like to thank for everyone for joining me on this live. Got to get better on these live and stuff. Let's stop being so busy. You know what I'm saying? We never, we're not, we got to, get in the mindset, just grinding it out with the Lord, because we know that all things right now, it's constantly fading away. The Lord is, setting us back in order right before the eye. It's here, Aramya, is at 45:98. It says here, look what he got here. It said Job chapter 20. And let's go up at the top. You know what I'm saying? Shalom to Alvin, Bana, Yahauda. You know what I'm saying? 620. And shalom to you, brother. Marvin Franklin, shalom to you, brother. Ramya. Let's get what he got here, and we'll close out. It says here, Job chapter 20 and verse 22, it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So right now, he's in the fullness of his sufficiency. So when you go into that word straight, he's going to have what levels of what difficulty, levels of adversity. We see that everyone that right now that was at peace with him or was in alliance with him, we constantly seeing that they're constantly turning their back on America, you know, so they setting up new alliance with America, enemy. So that's what we constantly seeing left and right. Revelation chapter 17 is lining up just like clockwork. So this man is in the fullness of his sufficiency. He's seeing that his days is determined. He's getting ready to be taken out of the way very soon. You know, that's what we constantly seeing left and right. You know, he's setting the stage for his own demise. Verse Job chapter 20 by the same brother in verse 23, he said, when he is about to fill his belly, said the Almighty shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So right now, this man right now is getting ready to fill his belly. He's setting the stage. You know, he feel like he got all things is ready. You know, he done set up this stage for these conditions for this digital or this digital society. We're seeing right now that he's getting ready to try to implement martial law and also, you know, to make you a petrol slave. Also, we see that he's lining up things with Venezuela, you know, constantly going into other people's countries, trying to rob them of their resources. This is his MO. You know what I'm saying? We see that he's trying to fill that belly. What is that? What is that agenda? What is that plan? The New World Order. He's trying to set it up. We're seeing it right before our eyes. But the Lord said, he said here, let's read it once again. It's in verse 24, it said he shall, it says, when he is about to fill his belly, his agenda, his plan, said the Almighty shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Right now, this man is getting ready to sit down to this buffet. You know what I'm saying? This new world order. But the Lord, why he's setting it up? He think he's a good case. The Lord's going to rain the wrath of his fear upon him, which in fact is those IBCM missiles and also that laser and chariot fire from Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai. The Lord's getting ready to set this man ass on fire. Let's see right here. Verse 24 said, Job chapter 20, verse 24, say he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. They're talking about these IBCM missiles. Those warheads, he getting ready to strike his ass very soon. He getting ready to get hit from all directions. Verse 20, he says, Job chapter 20, verse 25 by the same brother said, it is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. You know what I'm saying? So this right here is describing those IBCM missiles coming out of those silos, you know what I'm saying? Coming up, going into the air, and they shall not miss their mark. You know, hey man, those glittering sword. They're getting ready, hey man, I'm telling you, man, the Lord, you know, and one thing about it, you know, we know that they're getting ready to be shot to the ends of the world, you know, very soon. We seeing that these things are coming, but not before the implementation of the RFD microchip, which in fact is the mark of the beast. It says here, same brother, Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 16 said, in that day shall Egypt be like unto a woman, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaking over it. That's right. Exhort, and the Lord's going to shake this place to their foundation, a time of trouble that we have never seen before, that we'll never see ever again. The Lord's getting ready to make an example out of these heathens, and also he's getting ready to make an example out of these damn two-thirds. You know what I'm saying? He's getting ready to make a believer out of you. You know, so shalom to everyone on the coming board for joining me on this live. We're going to get ready to close out. I might get one more. Let's see what I want to get here. Let's get one more precept we'll close out on. Let's get one to close out on. Let's go here to Let's go here to Revelations. We close out here. Man, let's see. My phone trying to act up. Let's go here. Revelation chapter 15. We'll close out here. Revelation chapter 15, you know, that's the first one came to my mind. There's a couple of them, but this one right here, I think it'll close out real good. I think let's see, one moment. So we're seeing right now that they're setting the stage, you know. We're seeing right now they're constantly tightening the grip. We're seeing that the war drums are beating. You know, rumors of wars are all over the place. Also, we're seeing that, you know, love of many is constantly waxing colder and colder. In the middle of the Lord, we're constantly standing on our watch. We're constantly standing on fire for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. We know that we're very close to these times. We know that perilous times are upon us. We're seeing right now that the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. Jacob's trouble. We're at the beginning of Jacob's trouble. Man, in our attempt, man, these things are at the door. Let's go to the blue letter. My King James version, like we want to act up. There ain't nothing but the devil. He ain't gonna stop a damn thing. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 16 and verse 15. Revelation chapter 16 and verse 15. Then we'll close out right here. Revelation chapter 16 and verse 15. We'll close out here. One moment. It says here, it said, behold, I come as a thief. It said, blessed is he that watches and keepeth his garment, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. So one thing about it, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, hey, we got constantly, you know, being this wisdom and knowledge, you know, and one thing about it, you know, that garment is this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding, you know, and one thing about it, you know, with the 2/3, you know what I'm saying, is it going to be what? Naked. And they're going to be ashamed, you know, confounded. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be trodden down because, you know, they don't have this wisdom and knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That wisdom and knowledge should be a stronghold in times of trouble. That's why the Lord said, put on the whole armor of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, this garment. What? This wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding that come from who? Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So we got to keep it in. We got to keep it in us. Let's read this once again. It says here in the NLT, it said, look, I will come as unexpectedly as a thief. It said, blessed are all who are watching for me, who keep my clothing, you know, this wisdom is not this gospel, ready so they will not have to walk around naked and ashamed. So one thing about it, that's it. You know, we're here, man. You know what I'm saying? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of the time. So we're seeing right now that, you know, that vision is for, you know, appointed time, which in fact is now. We're constantly measuring the time diligently. We're seeing that the signs of the times are here. We're seeing right now that things is constantly speeding up, just like warp speed. We're constantly seeing the time is constantly accelerate. We're seeing right now that the earth vibration is changing. We're seeing that we're in this transition of power. And also we know that our salvation is very close at hand. And also the great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. It is out the door. That's why we got to constantly be watching. We got to keep those garments on. Wisdom and knowledge, you know what I'm saying, shall be the stability of the time. And also, when you go to Proverbs chapter, I think it's 18 and 10, if I'm not mistaken, is that, you know, the Lord's name shall be a stronghold, you know what I'm saying, which shall be a strong tower in times of trouble. So one thing about it, the righteous run into it and is safe. So we're so very close to this time. You know, these things are here. You know, I butcher that, but I better go ahead and get it. I hate to leave it. I don't like to butcher the Lord's word. I think it's Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 10. We get that right quick. I think my boy put on some more precepts up too, I think. See what we got here. I think it's Proverbs, I think it's 18. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Proverbs 18 and verse 10. Man, so many things be running through your head. That's it right here. It says here, so that's just, you know, this garment, man. We got to have the name of the Lord, you know, so have that mark upon it to know that the wah, you know what I'm saying, know the names of the Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 10 said, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. Said the righteous runneth into it and is safe. So exactly what's happening right now. See, Aramyah light me up again. He got Psalm chapter 144 and verse 14 said that our oxen may be strong to labor, that there be no breaking in nor going out, that there be no complaining in our street. That's exactly right. That's beautiful. That's beautiful right there. You know, just like I said, I can't get them all tonight. My voice about shot, man. But just like I said, you know, thank you for joining me on the live. But I'm going to get better on these live and everything like that. We're getting so very close. You know, the Lord is getting ready to return. We're seeing UFO sightings all across the world. We're going to keep our eyes on this 3-eye atlas. You know, we see what we're coming at. We know that Wicked E is up to his no good, but one thing about it, it's all through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. We're seeing that our salvation is at the door. We're seeing we're in that transition to power. And also we're seeing that the Lord is slowly putting the curses on these other nations, left and right. The Lord is doing a mighty work. Constantly trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. He is the way, he is the answer. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So the title of the day live lesson once again is for the vision is yet for an appointed time. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Ba'ashim Rekah Quadash, and double honors to those great millstone while unto his truth, and also to those elect that scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom, keep pushing, keep believing. We're almost to the finish line. Shalom, shalom.